Jaromir Jagr will officially retire.
He's full of poo.
Sad.
At the end of the season.
Should have kept playing.
I know. Just he looked good. You were right. Like we saw the clips from the Czech League. He looks good. At 52, Jaromir Jagr, this is from Chris Johnson, Jaromir Jagr picked up an assist on the first goal scored by his team in the Czech League this season. His pending entry into the Hockey Hall of Fame will be pushed to 2028 at the earliest. Now,
no.
That's
poo.
Here's what bothers me about this.
Everything.
When Gretzky retired, he got a pass right into the Hall of Fame. Instant. They're like, oh yeah, because the whole customary thing is you got to wait 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years after retirement. And the idea behind the 3-year rule, which made sense a long time ago, was we want to make sure you don't make a comeback like Guy Lafleur, who retired and was like, you know what? I do want to play for the Rangers a few years later. And he was pretty good. I think in this particular case, I don't know that you can have a Mount Rushmore of hockey, or at least maybe even a top 5, I guess, and not have Jaromir Jagr on it. We're talking about not one of the best players to have existed in his era. We're talking about one of the best players to have existed ever. If you make the concession for Gretzky and Lemieux, you make the concession for Jagr. You put him in as soon as you can. And you know why you do it?
What did they do with Orr?
It's good for marketing.
Yeah. I want to know what they did with Orr.
Let's find out. Bobby Orr.
There's been a number of players in NHL history who've had the waiting period wait for them. It not only includes Wayne Gretzky, but also Dick Clapper in 47, Maurice Richard in 61, Ted Lindsay in 66, Red Kelly in 69, Terry Sawchuk in 71, posthumously.
Yeah, because he died.
Jean Bellevue in 72, Gordie Howe in 72, Bobby Orr in 79, Mario in 97, and Gretzky in 99. That's the full list.
So for a lot of those guys, you're acknowledging you're the best player of your time, or you died. And Jaromir Jagr has not played an NHL game since 2018. It has been a very long time since you could consider him in the conversation for best player ever. They're not going to waive it for him.
That's bullshit.
There was something.
Where did he finish in total points in the in NHL history?
He's second. I don't even have to look it up.
And that's with missing some seasons, by the way. He went and played in Russia.
So this is this is the thing with Jaromir Jagr. And I was going to write about it in my book, but it was something I left behind because I was like, this is too much work. And also, you have to put rules on it. So who has the most points in NHL history?
Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky by a country mile. Who has the most professional points?
That British guy.
Ever. Well, Tony Hand is his name.
Adam hates Tony Hand.
I don't know why.
Hand. I've heard the story a million times.
You have
it's like, wow, do you guys know the story about... It's like every meme account out there, it's like, oh, I'm going to put a slideshow together. Do you know the Tony Hand story? And there's always a billion people who are like, never heard the Tony Hand story before. This is insane. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how you haven't heard it.
When do you... Because... new people are born all the time and don't.
People learn things every day, and I don't know why.
No, not the Tony Hand one.
I don't know why you can't get over the fact that people learn things.
I'm looking it up.
No,
I'm looking it up.
You're not telling the goddamn Tony Hand story.
Okay, what I wanted to look up is the all-time leading games played and points scored professionally. But then I was like, okay, you gotta put guardrails on. At some point, you got to be like, I'm not counting this league, right? So for Tony Hand, and this is going to offend a lot of Brits, I'm sorry, but like, do you count the British league?
No. In the 80s. No.
Okay, do you count the Czech league?
Sure. When?
Well, it's good now. How good was it back then? Do you count second tier Czech league?
No.
Nah. Do you count Germany in 94, 95? Do you count Italy? I mean, these are one-game stints that he played there. It's an interesting conversation, but he scored 1,921 NHL points, and then in all other leagues, you probably tack on like at least another 500.
I think what it comes down to is we know what Jagr is to the game of hockey.
Yeah.
And everybody else who's on that list I just read of who you made an exception for with the 3-year waiting period, and also the guys who were in the Hall of Fame and also active NHL players like Howe, Lafleur, and Lemieux, who played while Hall of Famers, there were exceptions. And these rules aren't set in stone because you've bent them a dozen times over the year.
No, but you got to get Colin Campbell in there.
Oh my god! We don't need to talk about that again.
Jagr's never tried to make the league unfair.
No.
So if you've made all of these exceptions over the years, and there's one very obvious person you could make another exception for, just do it.
Yeah.
Your rules are made up by you, and you change them willy-nilly all the time.
Yeah, it's like
Just what?
All right, well, we can't just go bending the rules for everyone. Well, who is it?
He's
it's Jaromir Jagr.
Oh, yeah.
He's only the second leading scorer all time.
The guy who's not everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe we should change the
and
rule.
also, let's just say this: a Jagr Hall of Fame ceremony is gonna do more numbers than Pierre Turgeon. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Who the hell went in last year? It was Turgeon and
I don't think you need to disparage.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying
you
to-
don't need to
Like,
do this,
I
but
don't-
I
I'm
understand.
not disparaging.
This
I'm
is a
saying
weird- this is a
there's
weird
a bit of a
spot.
fucking difference. It's a good marketing play. Are you kidding me?
I understand.
I understand what
I'm
you're saying.
sorry. No, you're right. Pierre Turgeon would disagree with
I
that.
understand what you're saying, but it didn't.
I am not
It didn't need to be.
denigrating Pierre
It
Turgeon's
didn't need
career.
to be said to help the argument.
What other Hall of Famers stink? Let's
Just-
go through the
One of those
list.
where you're like, come on, guys. Like, put him in the Hall of Fame.
Paul Korea, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure.
Listen, they all deserve it.
Dino, he never won. Dino never won. Mats.
There are people
we
that
gotta
would make
have the
that
conversation.
agreement. There are people that would make that argument, and I think they're
I know.
full of shit.
It's ridiculous
But-
to make this man wait for his Hall
yes,
of Fame induction.
is my point.
Yeah.
Just to look back on, and again, like we got to explain Tony Hand because new people come into the world. Let's explain Jaromir Jagr.
Okay, please.
Let's explain Jaromir Jagr. 'Cause
I'm
some
interested.
people are just going to know him as the old guy who played forever. He won a Stanley Cup in 1991 in his first year in the league. He won a Stanley Cup in 1992 in his second season in the league. 1995, Art Ross is leading scorer. 1998, Art Ross is leading scorer. 1999, Art Ross is leading scorer. 1999, Hart as MVP. 1999, Lester B. Pearson as MVP voted by the players. 2000, Art Ross is leading scorer. 2000, Lester B. Pearson, MVP as voted by the players. 2001, Art Ross is the NHL's leading scorer. 2006, Lester B. Pearson, best player as voted by the players. And 2016, Bill Masterton trophy that he got for just being there. Dude, Jaromir Jagr, there was a time where I think it was a 20-year stretch where no human being won a scoring title who wasn't named Gretzky, Lemieux, or Jagr. He's up there.
He needs to be.
He belongs in the conversation, and making him wait another 3 years is funny, but I think it's also unnecessary.
So no disrespect to the Turgeon family. I just want to say that. I was a big
Family?
Turgeon-
Where did the family get it?
Turgeon family? I don't know. Maybe one of the
digging a
members
hole.
is listening of the Turgeon family.
You're digging a hole.
I'm not digging a hole. I think they would agree. Jagr will do better numbers. Just throwing that out there.